Yo, we on business. Yo, we out here hitting that grind. Podcast vibes, letting loose, unwind. Next on the mic, yeah, you flexing with pride. Meeting dope souls, taking you on the ride. Talking about life, not just that.
Hey, greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Business. So today's going to be a little bit different because I had my guest who was in the middle of something that came up at work, which his job does entail emergencies that happen that he had to tend to, and it just so happened that that was the case. So unfortunately, that's how his Monday kicked off, and we hope that whatever Reverend Courtney Carson was having to deal with, everything went well, and we can get him back scheduled in and get him on here soon. I blocked out this time to be sitting here. The bad part about that is I don't have like anything specific that I had in mind to talk about. I was just gonna ask the Rev some questions. However, I think we can wing it. I think a big topic that at least is entertaining for me is the Trump thing, whichever side you're on, you know. I think it started off like in 2016. There was like a divide created. And then in 2020, within like a year after the election, I think people that got swayed into going against Trump for reasons that they didn't even really know were like, hold on. And so this time it was like obvious. And other than the abortion issue, which I do understand that is an issue. I have been schooled on it, but I really don't understand it, to be quite honest, because I live in a state and always have that they have a clinic in a few cities very near to here. And I don't know if that means those are going to shut down, or I don't really know what that means. So I shouldn't comment too much on that. Although other than, I mean, it's definitely up to whoever's body it is, what happens to it. Like, got to kind of roll with that. But the other way in on that is if you're not an adult, then an adult does get to weigh in my opinion. That's all. So, anyway, but other than that, I think, the whole opening or releasing the Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King and JFK files. I don't really even know the Bobby Kennedy conspiracy. I know the Kennedys. I didn't think they were politicians. I don't know what I thought they were. I thought they were like a Hollywood family, like maybe mobbed up a little bit or something like that. But either way, I know John F. Kennedy, there's a few different conspiracy theories. And so this is how conspiracy theories are born, is the government doesn't give us any information. So people start coming up with convincing explanations and I guess stories, and then a lot of times they have even things that can back what they're saying. I jumped down the rabbit hole a little bit intentionally. Like I said, I don't know what the Bobby Kennedy and the Martin Luther King thing, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I still am going to look into what that whole conspiracy thing is. But I know the JFK, there was a few deals that I think I think it's up in the air. One is mob related. Okay. What's his name? Lee Harvey Oswald? Is that, or what the hell's that guy's name? Hey Siri, who killed John F. Kennedy? Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald. But so he shoots 3 times, and yeah, that whole bullet trajectory thing was kind of whack. Actually, they reenacted that. They've done that for years and said, "What kind of magic bullet is this?" Went in all these crazy different directions and hit the governor as well twice, as well as the president twice. And you look at the bullet, and it looks like, man, it looks like you couldn't kill a goose with it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. What do I know? Either way, dude was a good shot, apparently. But so he gets arrested, and all they have to do is sit him down in the hot seat, right? And question him. And then they're going to be able to find out what exactly, who he's working for, who hired him, or what the deal is. Because if I'm not mistaken, like, I think the popular thing was this dude came in on some let's stop just creating war and shit, and let's just like chill it on out a little bit, maybe. But either way, he gets smoked. So there's a theory that because Castro was in power in Cuba, that there, of course, there was the theory that he was conspiring with the other people in the U.S. government to assassinate Castro, to basically take free Cuba, because he ran that bitch. And Castro people got to him first and killed him. Not that far-fetched. Especially if you know how real like secret op type, spy, espionage type people, and like them Jason Bourne people, that's some real life stuff, man. There's some people who move around in the shadows that are really good at it, and they do it for a living for governments, ours as well. But yeah, that's real stuff. That's not just a video game. Either way, so that's not that far-fetched. Some mob-related stuff is also kind of a theory. And I think that was more because that's as close as you could get on taking a guess at who Lee Harvey Oswald could be plugged with. I think. I don't really know the story with that. Maybe some Hollywood shit. I don't know. But the one that got me was that the CIA was in on it. And the theory behind that, it got me, man, because I'm going in just wanting knowledge. I didn't even understand what the problem was. They got a guy, and what happened? So when he came into office in 1961 in January, by like July, he had got rid of like maybe, I want to say like 200 fucking like the letter ops, the FBI, CIA, FBI, the special agents. Because what we had done under like Eisenhower and before that is our armed forces and our CIA were creating these special op teams throughout the globe that were literally going in and picking out who would be a future threat to our country and assassinating them and basically deciding who's controlling countries, like some gangster shit, right? And I mean, we were a world power, and I think there's even people who would go, oh no, we would never do that. And it's like, well, we did not get to be known as the world superpower by what? Desert Storm? I mean, what? I mean, what? There's not been anything. I mean, we have a reputation before the peace, love, and happiness in Vietnam and all that of I mean, literally on some savage shit. And hey, it's what the people in charge believed in, so that's what they did. Well, Kennedy came in and said, I'm not on that. Let's rebuild here. Let's build relationships. Let's build our imports up. Let's build our economy up. Let's, basically promoted more love and all that stuff, right? So you have like literally the top dogs of the CIA and FBI that are no longer employed for the government, or at least at that level, because their jobs have been taken. Now these dudes are plugged. I mean, they literally are the ones in charge of the people who black op it and who live off grid, and the ones they write movies about. They're in charge of them. So to think that, I don't think it's so far fetched to think that they could have been involved. And then, of course, the hitch to it all is, the other story is, what if this dude isn't even the shooter? What if he just said he's the shooter, or someone said they saw him shoot, and what did he say? Well, coincidentally, taking him out of the jail, I don't even know what, they were transporting him, literally 48 hours, maybe to a hospital or something. I don't know. They were transporting him somewhere from the jail. And he comes out, and a dude jumps out of the crowd, blasts him, and kills him. And, back in the day, it's like, got what he deserved. He killed our president. It's like, I think that was a way of saying, oh, you guys are definitely not going to get to hear his story, because any of the, 3 options I just named on whether it was like cartel type, or with Cuba, or whether it was mob type, or whether it was CIA, all of them are, if they're willing to kill the president, are certainly willing to smoke this dude. So we never got to see an interview. We never got to hear nothing, see nothing. We got a very short report. And then, so whenever they do an autopsy, they take the shattered fragments, basically. It was kind of disgusting to think, but, and they rebuild all the pieces that they have, they rebuild. When a bullet hits, it disintegrates some parts. But they can essentially put the head together, and you can, or arm or leg or whatever, and you can see the direction that the bullet was traveling based on how the skull or the arm bone, femur, whatever it hits, based on how it is busted or broken or whatever. And this autopsy was done. Okay. Well, like 3 years later, they decide, somebody, I don't know who exactly, some group or something, decides, you know what? I think it was when people started putting this whole bullet pattern together. They're going, hey, I think maybe we overlooked something, because here's the route that bullet would have had to take. Are we sure there wasn't more than one shooter? Are we sure this is the gun that was used? You know what? Let us look at this again. And there's one piece of that skull that is like, that literally determines the direction that bullet was going, right? And that was the only piece of bone that had magically disappeared and was no longer available to be viewed, was no longer, it was just gone. It just had disappeared. And this was in, 66, or 67 or something like that. And it, back, it was like, ask the question, who'd it go, where'd it go, what happened, who knows, nobody knows. Okay, well, never mind then, I guess. So, do I think that I just went on that ramble about just the stuff I've been absorbing. You guys probably know more than I do. I probably misquoted or have a lot of the story wrong, or I'm uneducated. But I think I have the gist of it too. But it was almost like he was exposing some things, and just being someone for the people, and that doesn't fly whenever. You're powerful. Whenever you want to be powerful, it doesn't fly. So the thing is so does Trump opening up these documents? There's a lot of people who are frowning upon it. In my quest to find out about it, there was no shortage of people who are like, "This is wrong. It's whatever." I don't even know. I don't even really understand their argument. Basically saying, all but like one person that could be mentioned in the CIA is dead, and the only person that is not dead was an informant from Mexico, and he's in his late 80s and still alive. And it's like, yeah, so what? And I think that's what Trump said. So what? I mean, what? But do I think that there's going to be a smoking gun saying, "Oh, look, this is who was responsible"? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't think there's going to be an unredacted document regarding that John F. Kennedy case or anything leading up to it or the investigation. I don't think there's going to be not one single unredacted document in there. I think everything will have been changed, and I don't think the original is going to be available. Because you have the benefit of, just like I just said, is you can blame people who are no longer alive. You can say, yes, these are what we have, and no, there wasn't cameras on everything, and there was no digital fingerprints, and there was no, tracing keystrokes, and there was no retinal scans. You just logged in, did what you did, and if everyone at that era was on the same page, then some shit thrown in the garbage and years going by and no one saying shit or needing to because it wasn't public record is not so crazy or far-fetched sounding, when you put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to think now that you guys actually took official documents, modified them to better fit your narrative is treason. It's insane. Like, you assisted in murdering a president if you touched them documents. You assisted in covering up. So that is like treason to the highest. But I don't think that's probably was there. You had I don't know, do we call them like good old boys or what? I mean, hell, this was the 60s, so they said, "Oh, we're going to do this how we want," and I think everyone was on the same page, other than the one who's dead. So, so here's the thing: people are ragging Trump, and I think Trump even says, like, there's a spokesman for Trump was even like, "Hey, I'm not releasing these because I anticipate there being a smoking gun. Like, I am just saying that this should have long ago been public knowledge and record. This never should have been top secret information. This should have been something that was available for us long ago." And I couldn't agree more with that, actually. So, good for him. Yeah, but I think it'll be interesting just to see what people cook up, because that's it, dude. There's people who have done like extensive research on this with nothing to even go off of. Like, they came up with, I don't know. I think if you hear, I at least have learned that I form my own opinion based on information rather than I used to hear something and go with it. Like, okay, that's all I know, so that's what it is. I'll still repeat some stuff that I just hear, but I'll make sure that it's known that I just seen this video and this is what it said. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I think, what's some other stuff that's going on here, man? Hey Siri, what's new in the P. Diddy case? Let's see here.
Social media is about to change forever. Check this out.
So I'm Marcus.
And I'm Ava, and we're AI creators that can say whatever you want.
And I bet you can even tell.
Details revealed about Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura's freak-offs. Combs sued again, and a lawyer sues Jay-Z and his lawyers, making bold claims. I go through 7 major developments in Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z's ongoing legal sagas. This is a Law and Crime Legal Alert. Did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes, with decades of experience fighting large or fatty liver disease, months, and it's now they're named as defendants together in a civil lawsuit filed by a woman who claims both men raped her when she was 13 in the year 2000. I'll get to the latest on that case in a bit. But first...
But wait a minute. Okay. So, I didn't even get into any of that because this seemed like that was just an ad for some other shit. I don't even know what was going on exactly. It was the same lady acting like she was telling the news. I don't know. Either way. But it made me think of something. So, there's 2 different sides to this Diddy thing, right? Basically, if you had been to one of these Diddy parties at any time in your life, you have a chance right now of saying anything you want and getting on. I think to this point, it is like a class action sex fucking ring. I mean, whatever, drugs, sex, rape, class action lawsuit against Diddy. I think there's one lawyer, and he's representing a whole bunch of people. And my take on it was, like, when the first thing, like Jay-Z, when he got, I don't know if he got arrested or indicted or I don't even know. Named in a lawsuit. That's what he got. And I think that's what I said. His attorneys were like, statute of limitations, man. It's 2025, and you're talking about this happening in 2000, which I think clearly, legally, that is statute of limitations. But you can still have a lawsuit against you. I mean, a civil suit, and you can, if you're guilty, you can still be found guilty and have to pay. But, of course, Jay-Z's like, hell no, this didn't happen. There ain't no proof of this, whatever. Dude, it took you 25 years to come out and say that? Like, that's what I 100% think that. Like, I mean, that's insane to me. Why would you wait 25 years to just decide, you know what? Today is the day. I am going to tell on Jay-Z. I'm not even going to speculate. I have a bunch of things I want to say, but I don't want to be judgmental like that because I don't know the lady who used to be a young lady, but I'm just going to say you probably knew where you was at and what you were doing. I don't know. But either way, because they were really big hip-hop stars, and you didn't probably run into them at a Wendy's. So either way, so they interviewed this dude because a lot of these cases on this Diddy deal, a lot of the cases are men saying he raped them, and even the dudes are like, I don't think Diddy is gay. He just is like power struck, which, I mean, that's gay where I'm from. If you're raping these dudes, I mean, that's like gay and sick as shit for raping anyone. Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, I think a rapist is one thing and gay is another thing, and he's both of those. That's what I think. But anyway, he was going in, and yeah, these dudes were waking up literally with Diddy doing them, and then threatening them with death. And apparently, he had people touching people at the time, and I don't mean like touching them with his hands. I mean like he was touching lives. He was making people disappear. He was powerful. So these are people that are going, okay, I'm still going to be around this dude every day after he just violated me. And the only reason that he did it is to let these people know you're in charge. Like he would refer to him like, you are my bitch. Like, and wanted them to know that was, he dominated them. And that's just, that's a sick dude, man. That's what it was. The interview I seen, they had interviewed like his brother, and Diddy was like an Ivy League dude, and his dad was a gangster, and when he was young, his dad was selling dope, got popped, started working with the police, and the dude he was selling dope for, that little crew, killed his dad, so he was raised by his mom, and they were like some Hollywood type people, and he was like an Ivy League dude, and he just was trying to get into the industry and like fake gangster, which he portrayed that to me. He never looked at Sean Combs and was like, dude, that's hardcore, dude. It's like, no, he's just like got it figured out in the entertainment deal. You know, he was a pop guy. I mean, a pop guy, but he was a pop star. I don't know. But yeah, so he was, basically thought he was untouchable, I guess, is the deal. But so anyway, these dudes are saying, yeah, I'm coming out now all these years later because I finally feel like he is vulnerable. And I never felt that before. Everything before, I felt like if I was to bring it up or ever mention it, that me or my family would be killed. And they're like, I'm not so sure that can't still happen. Which is one of the reasons they didn't grant Diddy bail, is because how he can reach people. I think Jay-Z's just like, dude, leave me out of this shit. That was one time at a hotel after a concert in 2000, bro. But, I mean, it doesn't make it right. I get that. But, yeah, I don't, I guess I just don't get it. But he's a sicko. He's going to get it. I don't know what, I think he's going to probably kill himself he'll kill himself probably pretty soon. They offered some ungodly amount for bond, said he'd stay at home and do house arrest and all that shit. But again, they're like, no. If you can communicate with people, then you can make things happen. And he's got a ton of money, man. The dude's worth a grip. And, but yeah, he can't. He's done, dude. But as he should be. You can't. Like, he wasn't doing good at all. I mean, he wasn't doing right at all, man. He was ruining people's lives. And that money got to him bad. I was never a fan. I like Biggie, but I also thought he had something to do with that shit, which I think that's coming out more and more that might be the case. Because I think that was what is said, is he wanted everyone around him, artists included, to know that he was the biggest thing on that label. And it's like, dude, he kind of sucked. So that's crazy to me. But like Mace was better than him. 112 was good. Biggie was good. Mary was on there. What? Who all was on there? Like, that's Little Kim and all them, right? Yeah. Yeah, Diddy was the worst one. He just had a good thing going. But either way, he figured it out. But, man, That above the law shit will get you, man. He thought he was probably sitting back laughing at that Epstein shit. Like, that dude, dummy, don't know what he's doing. Whole time it's like, bro, you're on deck, so just hold up. You see who joined me? He was like, I heard we need a guest. I'll be happy to fill in. Yeah, old Vato, man. Yeah. What else? Well, it's a new year. You guys got New Year's resolutions? So here's what's going to happen in season 3. I am going to start. I'll release the roster, right? And I'm also going to release an email address. And this email address will be used for, you'll shoot an email over, and in the subject line you will put the guest name, because you'll know, because I'm going to send you the roster. It'll be posted. And if you have a topic or question that you want me to touch on specifically, I don't care if it's what it is, as long as not vulgar, obviously, but yeah, if you have something you want me to touch on, then you can either shoot me a message and say, ask it anonymously, or you can say, ask it from me, or you can film a little video message and send it over, and we'll play it right here on the show with the guest and have them answer, just to get you guys a little bit more involved as we go. And, of course, we're not doing it live, so you'll know, like I said, you'll know ahead of time. As long as we get the questions in a couple days before the guest is here, then we'll be good. But I'll get that email address posted out here pretty soon. It'll be along with our set season 3 roster locked in, which unfortunately it is possible that even when we lock in a roster, situations like today happen, to where when we do our 12 episodes, we're probably not going to be able to get Mr. Carson back in here before we finish season 2. So if emergencies happen and whatnot, it is possible that guests can get slots bumped or changed or whatever, just based on availability and life happening, which I'm definitely one of those. I understand. That's kind of why I try to overschedule this a little bit, because I understand that things come up and things happen. And once it gets nice out again, my schedule will get tighter. So I will be, I won't have the ability or availability to just pop in and shoot 4 or 5 a week to have some on standby. Which obviously I don't have them on standby, because I plug them out to you guys as soon as I get them, which is what is making me sit here and just talk to you right now. I have no idea. I don't know what took me to saying that. Yeah. Either way. So I wonder, I don't really have it. I didn't have any New Year's resolutions, but what I did have is I was trying to change a couple habits, which was, I was gonna do that 100 days sober, to where I don't have any booze at all, not for any reason, and I literally, and I wasn't going to count this, but I did it, So I went to like a official meeting with somebody, and they bought me a whiskey, and we smoked a cigar, and I drank it, and I just didn't even mention it until after we were done. And then he was like, "Oh man, you should have told me." And I was like, "It was my fault. I don't know. I did enjoy it. But I didn't even enjoy it because I knew I was breaking it. Either way, so I'm back on that thing. I'm going to do 100 days, just for no reason. So yeah, I had to restart that 2 weeks ago. And what I wanted to do is I am in my phone, dude. It's like an addiction, because I operate 2 companies. I do most everything for this podcast. Well, no, I don't do everything for this podcast, but I have a lot of the responsibility is on me for the podcast. I have a lot of social media interaction. I am very curious. I get stuck looking up and at different things. I think like all of us, it's almost like I literally have to take time and go, I am going to take this time to like meditate, and for me it's even a struggle. Like my to get my brain to not venture off. It's really hard. So what I've been doing, and I'm not great at it, but I used to read a ton. I never was into the Kindle. I've never been into the like books on my iPad. Audiobooks are the bomb. I'm a huge fan of those when I drive. But yeah, I have been. Someone, whenever Zane came on, Zane Peterson, shout out Zane from Main Place Real Estate, or Main Place Properties, I'm sorry. He had mentioned a book that's called, it's Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, or something along those lines. I might have said all that wrong, but either way. After he had mentioned it to me anonymously, the book showed up, was delivered. And I kind of think I reached out to him and maybe thanked him for it. And he was like, I did not send that. So I have a few books that sit here, and whenever he came in, he had sold them. And they're just kind of, the basics for like entrepreneurship, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the, Psychology of Money, and Think and Grow Rich. And he just had recommended that book, and he said he noticed I didn't have it, and I told him I would look into it. Well, someone sent it, and I have been, whoever that was, thank you. I wish I knew who it was. I would just say thank you. So I'm doing it anyway. Thank you. But I have been digging into that book, and I do enjoy it. I need to leave my phone in the truck when I read or something. I don't know. I get so easily distracted, but I'm trying to force. Once I get in, I want to finish something that I'm reading. So once I can get focused, it works out pretty good. My problem is what I've been trying to do is do that before bed, right? And I usually will wake up with the reading light still on and the book somewhere underneath me or on my chest or under my arm or something, to where when that brain finally shuts down enough to focus on a book, I just fall out. So maybe I need to try to go a little bit earlier. I don't know, but I'm trying. I am trying. And I encourage you guys to too. What I need to do is make time to get in the gym. So I fractured, what's it called? A stress fracture or something in my heel, in my left heel. Okay. So it's not terrible, right? But it's definitely I don't know. If I'm on my feet all day, or something like that, then the next day it hurts. It hurts bad. It feels like I just smashed my heel into the ground and I can't freaking put weight on it. So that sucks. Only way for it to heal is literally just kind of elevate it, take some time off, some weight off of it, and I'm going the long route because I don't do any of those things. So I say that sissy excuse of saying I need to get my fat ass back in the gym more often. Because I can do a lot of things not heel related, but I think that's just been my excuse. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop using that as an excuse and just be conscious of it and say, you know what, let's do some other things because Lord knows I need to. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this year brings, both in our country and just in my personal life. And my son plays travel baseball. And so, this will be his first year playing high school baseball. And then, which if you don't know who he is, if you look on YouTube at like the sneak peek or the office sneak peek before episode 1, he and I sat down on the same day that the Tyson and Jake Paul fight was and did like a 30-minute episode with a mic check and studio check just to see if I was even going to know how to make this thing work. And it went pretty well. Matter of fact, I'm going to get him back in here as my guest here really soon, and just sit down and let you guys get to know him a little bit. He's a real cool guy. The older he gets, the more I dig him. You guys have probably heard me say it to several guests. I'm not one of the people who's like, oh, I miss him being a baby. Nah, man, I dig it. I dig him being the young man he is. He's really cool. That's how it is with my daughter, too. She's just good people. I mean, her and I vibe. Yeah, we don't see each other as much as we should, but we both have, like, lives. So I think that kind of goes without saying. And every time we pick up right where we should, and them grandbabies still think I'm the best grandparent ever. So I'm going to ride with that. But yeah, I'm going to get Mo in here. But anyway, he's going to be playing his first year of high school baseball. They're working out now. He played varsity soccer as a freshman, which I don't think they don't even have a JV team. So you either play varsity or you don't play. And he started off coming in like the last half, and by the last half of the season, he was either starting or coming in, first or second off the bench, and he got quite a bit of tick there. They didn't do great, but I think they were just maybe I don't know. Maybe they played 500, maybe just under 500. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I felt like they started off on fire and then got extinguished, but they were in the playoffs, so I don't know if that's just what everybody does, or I don't know how that works. But not for long. But anyway, going into baseball, that'll be fun. This is the first time he's played travel ball his whole career, I guess. Since he was 8 years old, we've been traveling around playing tournaments on weekends, and rather than playing like a season of every Tuesday and Thursday or whatever normal used to be. And you always play within your age, you know what I'm saying? So when you're, and I know some of you are listening going, yeah, we know how this works, but other people don't. So it's like if your kid is 12, then you play 13U or whatever, So you don't play, when you're 13, you don't play with 15-year-olds or 16-year-olds. You play with 13-year-olds, Well, high school is everybody in all sports, which I love this time of their lives, to where if you excel, then you get to high school and it's varsity, there's JV. Sometimes it's freshman, JV, and varsity. And if you are a good enough freshman and your coach is a good coach, then you will play and contribute to the varsity team no matter what age you are or what grade you're in. And so it kind of just, I'm not even saying that he's going to be or do anything. I don't know what kind of talent they have. I don't know what they need, what they're looking for, what they're missing, or what he'll do. I know he's hit a nice little growth spurt, so it'll be definitely a little more interesting. But I'm just saying he is 13, and he'll turn 14 during high school baseball. But it's going to be cool because he's playing with kids that are 15, 16, 17, some even 18. And I don't know who, most of you probably know because you had kids or were a kid, is the body change that happens from like 13 or 14 to 18, usually for a young man, is nothing short of spectacular, So it is kind of it. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen the kids, and I haven't even really talked to him about it. But yeah, I think that is what'll be interesting. Is going. I never was phased. I never was phased by playing with the older guys whenever I was in high school. But I thought I was better than them. So yeah. I mean, at baseball anyway. I thought I should have been, even when I wasn't starting. It was like, this dude's starting because he's a senior. He sucks. But football, yeah, same. I was like, I hadn't played until high school, but I was like, yeah, I'm better than this guy. So, and it just was a matter of time. And wait, no, my freshman year I didn't play varsity. My sophomore year I did. My freshman year I dressed varsity, and that was supposed to be like a privilege. And that just meant when everyone else got to have fun on Friday night and go to the football game, I was stuck going through the drills, warming up, all this shit, but don't get in, don't even get looked at to might go in. Just stand there. I just wasn't a diehard. I wasn't a football guy. I was a baseball guy who came to a school that was small, and at that time of year, you were a 3-sport athlete. If you played sports, you played 3. And your only option was baseball or track. But you're definitely playing basketball, you're definitely playing football, and you're definitely playing baseball or track. So, yeah, I came at the beginning of the school year, started my freshman year of high school in Macon, and it was like, okay, so you're playing football. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm playing football. So I didn't love it, but I did love the idea. I mean, it was like football, the team eating dinner together and the pep rallies and being, the spotlight. Yeah, that shit was fun. Yeah, I can't lie. That was fun. Well, we just weren't good. So it makes it hard. Like, I had been on some competitive baseball teams that won some games in some good situations and dominated a little bit, and that was really exciting. But as for football, I didn't ever have that. Like, there wasn't even a time where it was kind of a situation where it felt like we were good. It was like, no, we suck. And yeah, it's hard for that to be fun. So not only do I hope, if I had to take a pick between if I wished my son would, if his high school team, if they would be mediocre and him start varsity, or excuse me, sorry. If I had to choose between his team being mediocre, but him having a starting spot on varsity, or his team being good and him needing to work to even make the varsity roster, I would go with option B all day long. And so would he. He's already been in a situation before where in junior high, dude, he went to Our Lady of Lourdes, and he was the only 6th, only 7th, and only 8th grader. So 3 years in a row, he was the only person in junior high that played junior high baseball. And being that he was the only one, well, I would assume that just meant you're busted. You are not going to be playing baseball. Instead, they have to let you play. So were at a private school, and so they contacted another private school down the road, and they're like, we got a baseball player. So he literally went down the street, played at LSA, and shout out to the coaches there, Brad, and excuse me, I don't know what the other guy's name is. I mean, the team was terrible, man. It was terrible. It was just, I mean, in my world, you don't, and maybe in real life to come out and start playing baseball when you're in junior high, maybe that is normal. I don't know. But in my world, it was not. So my son was like 6th grade. And now when I say he went through a growth spurt, that's recently. So he's like maybe 5'9", 5'10" now, or 5'8", 5'9", something like that. But dude, this dude was under 5 foot until like a year ago. I feel like not really, but so he was never a tall guy, and he was 6th grade, 11, tiny, and I mean light years better, like to the point where it went from being a confidence boost playing on his junior high team to like embarrassing. I mean, even for him, like it was like, okay, all right, I'm going to get up, I'm going to hit a double or triple, I'm going to play shortstop. If I'm not playing shortstop, and he don't even play shortstop in like travel ball, but it's like, where do you put the best player? I mean, the only one who for sure is sound, and I can't say the only one because there was actually like 2 or 3, but it goes, I think, pitch, catch, first base, shortstop. We had like 3 guys, and it was like, or 3 or 4 dudes. It was like the catcher was good, the first baseman was good, and Mo was good at shortstop. And either one of any of those 3 pitching was good. But that was only 2 positions in the field at all times that the ball was getting. It was just a shit show, dude. But that was my first go at kind of. It was, of course, at first it was proud because I was proud because we weren't the only team that was like, holy shit, they just started playing baseball here. I mean, we actually won some games. So you can just imagine, I mean, Mo's going out getting 12 strikeouts. It's just like, oh my gosh, dude, strikeout. It's just sitting them down. You're allowed 70 pitches and he's just sitting everybody down. Working on his junk, and his hands like as big as my palm is his whole hand, and he's working on throwing like change ups and shit. It was great. But yeah, we ain't on that no more. Now it's let's see what you need to work towards. And I don't know if he has any aspirations to play college ball at all or not. I think this year right here will probably tell him. And yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't been the only thing that I take good away from him bouncing around programs a little bit. Like I coached for a while. He played for a team before that I didn't coach for. Well, then I ended up helping coach. And then now he's at a different program as we're not like rooted in anywhere. So it's not like, if opportunity comes and he likes it, then we can do it. Because it is, a lot of times these kids are, and if you've seen this kid pitch, it's like he's a growth spurt away from doing some damage. So we'll see if that was the growth spurt or if we're in the middle of it still now. But he has this leg kick that's crazy. But so if things go how we hope, if you are outstanding where you're at, then in sports, especially as a parent of a young athlete, if your kid is excelling and standing out where they're at, then it's time to move up. It's time to move up and move on. And there's no harm in it, man. I'm telling you what, there'll be some people that are a little butthurt at first or, they think they're better than us. And that's not the case, right? You know that. We know that. But you have to do what's best for your kid, and that is in the sports world. If you are in it as a social event and as just to make memories with your child and their friends, then by all means, do that. But if you're chasing the dream of maybe pursuing sports, then you have to go challenge that kid. You have to put them in a situation where they are grinding to be better, not because you're telling them to or you're working harder with them away from practice. You have to be putting them out there in a situation where they are not the superstar, and it's only going to improve them so much. Yeah, and not to mention, like I said, Mo's played on a few different clubs now. Dude, now we go to any school, and he's played with kids from it. It's nothing but love. So it's just like a lot of the guys out there, if you're watching, that we know each other personally. There's a really good chance we know each other. If it's not because we've worked together, then before that, it was probably because we played ball together, whether we were on different teams or the same team or whatever. I think that's where it's at. And I think that's the part, is once you go to a different team, you're not enemies. That's just your boy you used to play ball with. I mean, of course, they're the other side when you're playing. That's what I think sucks about the whole and Jostis and I talked about it. He kind of explained it to me. So, yeah, back in the day, it was like Argenta, Macon, Warrensburg, Maroa, all these little towns that are all around Decatur, all played each other in sports and all knew each other, all kept stats on each other. As a matter of fact, when those who didn't make it to the playoffs, those who would go support the ones who did once playoff season came. Like it was a thing, you know what I mean? We didn't hate each other. We fake did. But yeah, it was like it was a sports brotherhood, a community thing. Well, they broke up the Okaw Valley, so that screws it. Well, even with like summer league, there's no such thing as like competitive summer league baseball. It's you're traveling. I mean, yeah, that was it. When I stopped coaching, it was like, where do you want to play? And the options were all hosting towns that were at least 45 minutes from home. And yeah, so I'm kind of making that. I guess it's not a sacrifice. Well, yeah, it is. I'm making that sacrifice for him, as is his mom, so he can make memories and have fun. And we are kind of seeing. It's like I'm in the mindset of now, the first year of high school baseball, then we're going to be playing 15U. Is that what this is? 14U? Something. Whatever we're about to play. Wait, he is 14. Yeah. So 15U. Yeah. Either way. It's like, yeah, this is going to be the year where you decide if you want to show out and clown and do some damage and maybe pursue college, then we'll see what the next move is. But yeah, I think high school, that's the time. I mean, now is when you start making some noise. You start making a stat sheet. You start. Hell, I have him in one of these apps that I signed up for through one of the tournament programs that we play in, and you already have coaches that look at his profile just to look and see if there's been an update. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was talking about the gym and all that stuff because that's my way of encouraging you that if you didn't have a resolution, you don't have to. Do something different, man. If you're one of those people who you've been struggling to have time or even the funds to take a break and take a vacation and get away, and you're a 9-to-5 or whatever, then why don't you just every week get $50 cash out of the ATM. Go get $50 out. Stick it in your Bible. Seriously. Stick it in your favorite book. Stick it in something right there and do it every week. Do it every week. And you'll be able to take an awesome vacation between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Probably still have a little bit of chop left over to do some Christmas shopping. Do it. Challenge yourself to just save $50 a week and treat yourself at the end. And don't touch it. You don't have to get an account. You can get a coffee can, put it under your bed, put it under your mattress, put it in your Bible, do something. $50 a week. Just stuff it away. And then, you can take a long weekend to yourself. Go soak in a hot tub in a cabin for a long weekend at the end of November. Come back, do some Christmas shopping, rejuvenated, and get ready for another new year. Again, it's all self-care. And that's what I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to encourage is, take time to recharge. If you're one of those who do for yourself and everyone else, and the expectation is that you are just going to stay solid and stay golden, then good job on being that person. But don't forget to recharge, reward. Because you deserve it too, man, or ma'am, whoever you are. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to I've heard a lot of people, and this might be kind of touchy. There's a lot of excuses on how the people are nowadays. There's a lot of fault gets blamed on the parenting, which I'm one of the people who blame how misconstrued a lot of kids is on parenting, because I really don't know who else can be to blame on how kids act than the parents. But I say that to say, shout out to most of the single moms that I know that dad the heck up, and there's no excuse. There is no poor me. There is no, well, I guess my kids are just going to be shitty because I made a bad choice or because their dad decided to be abusive. Now our life's just going to suck. No, that's not real life. Real life is you bringing a human into this world, and you are responsible for them, and you become more responsible for yourself and that child because of that child. That should be a focus, a priority, and there's a lot of women I know that is exactly the case, and they don't cry about none of it. They know what they signed up for, and they get it. And congratulations to you, single moms, that don't expect a plaque or a banner. They just are rewarded by having productive children that grow up to love them and do great things, so. And shout out to the parents that stay together too. I mean, I think the grass is really green on the side of the people who have been married forever. If you're coming from a broken home or something like that, you look at the people and go, man, it must be nice. But you better believe, hats off to those people, because if you've been married a long time, that means you've been through a lot, and you guys have both overcame a lot. And congratulations on that. Well, come up with another challenge for yourself. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Sorry I didn't have a guest and it was just me. If you have anything that you want to communicate to me about anything, you can always send an email over to beyondbusiness217@gmail.com. And either myself or someone will get back with you. Thanks a lot for joining me. Everybody stay safe, be kind to each other, and think about it. What's your next move?
Not just that paper, doing it big. Ain't no time for a hater. People yap behind his back, but we rise like the sun. Gather round, fam, we just having some fun. Beyond business, it's a vibe, feel that thrill, getting intimate. May even get your heart filled. Meeting the legends, those raw and real. Digging deep thoughts, show you how to feel. From the block to the boardroom, we making that move. Beyond business, baby, yeah, we got the groove. Shout out to the hustlers, the real street thugs. We all eat together, no need for the drugs. Yeah, you blessed with the gift, determined to thrive. Nick's breaking it down, keeping that fire alive. Let's go deep like the ocean, no bluff. Beyond business, baby, we can't get enough.